Welcome back to the Beyond the Bestseller podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Schuknecht, and today's guest is Sylvie Beljanski, author of Winning the War on Cancer. First off, welcome, Sylvie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be with you today.
We navigated some technical difficulties to be here, so Sylvie has handled it all very well, and here we are. So Sylvie, your book title sounds pretty straightforward, but I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about why you wrote this book about winning the war on cancer. And you talk about in the subtitle a natural cure. So I'm curious, kind of what led you to write this book, and kind of what made you want to put that out there.
So to be clear, at the beginning, I never had cancer. And I am not a doctor, and I'm not even a health professional. I am the daughter of Dr. Mirko Beljanski, a PhD in molecular biology, was all his research at the Pasteur Institute in Paris, France. And I grew up seeing him helping a lot of people with natural products. And as a little brat, as a teenager growing up, I said, I'm never going to get involved into that when I grow up. I don't want to be surrounded with sick people. I want to do something else. I'm going to go to law school. And I went to law school in France. And in the 90s, my father was asked to help François Mitterrand, the former French president of the Republic, to help him finish his second term when he was diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer. And at the time, the president was, officially terminally ill. He was given morphine, and they were preparing the country for early elections. But Mitterrand had a mistress who knew about a good doctor who had very good results on prostate cancer by using my father's products. And Mitterrand started to take the products, and against all odds, he started to get better and better and better. And that was a very public recovery because that was the president. So there were some people very happy that the president was doing well. And there were some people very, very unhappy, especially the powerful people who had missed the opportunity of the early election, and all the pharmaceutical companies who were seeing that some natural products could do better than what they what they could offer, and they had not much to offer since all they had to give was morphine. So everything was okay until Mitterrand finally passed away. And exactly 9 months after Mitterrand passed away, on October 9, 1996, a SWAT team, the French army, not the police, the French army, was sent to my father's laboratory with machine guns, dogs, helicopter circling around the laboratory. My father was 74 at the time, and he never had a brush with the justice all of his life. He was a researcher. He was a retired researcher at the time, and it was devastated. And they told him, well, it's too late now. They destroyed everything in the laboratory. They really seized everything they could, destroyed everything they could not seize. And then they told him, well, it's too late now to take you before a judge. We'll do that tomorrow. And that's not due process. And they told him, stay in this room until tomorrow we'll come to pick you up and take you before the judge. And they sent a poisonous gas in that room. And 2 months later, my father had stage 4 myeloid leukemia, acute myeloid leukemia. And I was a lawyer already working in New York, in a New York law firm, because that's so prestigious when you are a young lawyer to work in a New York law firm. And when I learned that my father and my mother had been arrested, and my first thing was to take care of their legal defense. And the more I was looking at the file, the more I realized that this was not about justice. It was about destroying evidence. I took the case to the European Court of Human Rights. We won an unanimous case because France did not explain what they did and why they did it. They just decided it was secret defense. So that begs the question, what happens when a cure for cancer is found, but is not of the liking of official governments and pharmaceutical companies who do not have the opportunity to make money on that kind of cure?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I want to just say I've heard that from people before about organizations like, and I don't have anything against any organizations, but like I've heard that like, organizations that make money to help people who are, like Alzheimer's Foundation or, cancer type research centers and things, like if there's a cure for those things, they go out of business, right? So why would they be incentivized to help find the cure, really? I mean, and I don't have anything against those organizations, but I've heard people say that before. So it's interesting, like that is really kind of what you're exposing there, is that there might be a struggle against the cures for those types of things.
Exactly, when they cannot make money out of it, yes, absolutely. And so I decided that this knowledge could not disappear. My father was paid at the Pasteur Institute by the French taxpayer. So it belongs to the taxpayer and citizens of the world. So it belongs to the world and it needs to be known. So what I did, I started the Beljanski Foundation to continue the research. I wanted to have validation of my father's research. When he was arrested, they were saying, oh, it's hocus pocus, it has never been confirmed. I wanted to have American academic institutions to confirm that work. So we were able to work with Columbia University, Kansas University Medical Center. We had a clinical trial with Cancer Treatment Centers of America. We were able to work on prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, pancreatic cancer, and now his latest study is on breast cancer. So we were able to confirm that indeed those plant extracts are recognizing cancer cells selectively without harming healthy cells. And that's the selectivity of action, which means no toxicity, and also the broad spectrum of the number of kind of cancer cells lines it's going to work with, is very, very, very unique and very beneficial for patients. We also were able to work those plant extracts are working alone and in synergy with chemotherapy and radiotherapy, which is very important because people don't have to choose. And then we were also able to demonstrate that those plant extracts are effective at different stages of cancer, from inflammation to full-blown cancer to advanced cancers that do not respond to hormonal treatment. And now the latest studies are on cancer stem cells, those cells which are embryonic and are resistant to chemotherapy and have the ability to stay in the body for a very long time, travel to another organ, and create metastasis. So all that is demonstrated by academic institutions, all that is available on the website of the foundation, beljanski.org, and everybody can download them. I wanted that to be public knowledge, and that was the goal of my life. And to tell the story, of course, of what happened to my father, why I started, what it took to start all over again in the States. And I share, it reads like a novel, it's an adventure, but along chapter after chapter, little by little, I share everything I learned with the reader. So at the end of the book, it's not boring, and at the end of the book, there is a lot of knowledge that has been acquired about cancer, about holistic medicine, about how to different approaches, about nutritional advice, about my own exhausting bout, and because of stress and how I dealt with it, and all that is in the book.
Yeah, yeah. So you talked about your all of your dad's research was destroyed. So has that been, I don't, maybe I didn't catch this, but has that been kind of recreated? Like, have you been able to bring back a lot of that, or kind of what happened after it was destroyed?
So they destroyed a lot of papers. They destroyed the tissues, cell tissues on which he was working with. He was also in the process of developing a synthetic molecule. They destroyed that completely. I never found what molecule exactly he was working with, but I was able to get back still a lot of things that were in the computers, remained in the computers that they had seized, and under the name of the company, I was able to buy back the computers when there was liquidation of my father's laboratory. So it has been like a kind of adventure, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So your dad, this all happened, what was this,
So that was
how long ago?
the raid, the French army raid happened in 1996. And I have been here in the States since then. I started the foundation the following year. I invited a number of French doctors who had been working with my father to tell them, hey, I am here. I don't know anything, but I'm willing to learn as much as you will share with me. Come to New York. It's safe. It's America. It's the land of second chances. And I was able to invite a handful of American doctors. And one of them, Dr. Michael Schuknecht, who is no longer with us, but was a luminaries of integrative medicine here in the US, came to this symposium. He was really blown away by what he heard his French colleagues explain and expose, and the kind of results the French colleagues, French doctors had with their patients. And Michael Schuknecht decided to give a try to one of his patients who had advanced pancreatic cancer. And he thought, well, the poor fellow doesn't have much to lose. I'm going to try this exotic French stuff and we'll see what happens. And the poor fellow started to get better and better. So Dr. Schuknecht gave more of the exotic French stuff to other patients. And after 1 year, he told me, well, now I have enough good stories. I'm going to publish those results. And I was so excited. The first American paper. I gave a copy to everybody I knew, including my banker. And it turned out that my banker was a patient of Dr. Aaron Katz, who was the head of holistic urology at Columbia University. And then a few weeks later, Dr. Katz called me and said, yeah, you seem to be upon something interesting here. Would you come to explain to me at Columbia University? And that's how everything started with the research, with the foundation and the partnerships to continue the research.
Nice, nice. So how have you used this book? I mean, you talk about it's kind of a story. It's kind of reads like fiction, but it's very educational. So yeah. So how have you seen this book impact the lives of people who have read it?
Oh, a lot of people told me that it is really, it's a very, I mean, they tell me first it's a page turner. and then they are amazed with everything they are reading. And then very often they use the information for themselves, but also when they know about around them somebody who has cancer and they would like to be able to speak about integrative approach, but they don't know how to do it because they don't have the scientific background, they give the book. It's a nice little gift. It's not pushy. It's just, a gift. And then the information passes from there to somebody else and can be life changing.
Do you talk in the book about what those the natural cure, the natural, not the natural cure, but the natural kind of approach is? Like, do you talk about how people with cancer, I mean, I know you kind of started this whole conversation with, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, so I get that, but do you give some tips on that part of it?
Yes, so I speak at length, of course, about the research and what the research has told us about the benefits and the properties of each of the plant extracts that my father was working with. And at the end of the book, there is several pages where I republished the notes of Dr. Markovich, who was a very good friend of my father, and he had written all his protocols that he was using, kind of cancer by kind of cancer. So all that is in the book. It has to be helpful and really provide information, practical information.
How was your dad? He was researching. He was kind of in. Sounds like there was like a lab he was working in, but was he treating patients, also treating them naturally?
No, he was a PhD. He was not an MD, and so he surrounded himself with a lot of MDs, and he created this kind of intellectual academia between doctors who were prescribing, researchers who were searching and demonstrating the new benefits, and there was this kind of monthly exchange of bright minds. We were all about how can we help our patients the best, and I think it was pretty unique and a beautiful things, because you had all those people who were meeting on Sundays. They were not paid for doing that. It was not about money. It was just about serving their patients in best possible way, and having the information going from the researcher to the doctor, but having also the feedback from the doctor, very, very important to help improve whatever was happening in the lab and help conduct the research in the most effective way. And it was kind of academic institutions that my father created, and that of course has been destroyed by the French army, who terrorized everybody, arrested as many people as they could, and I just feel that the war on knowledge, it's the war on health, the war on hope, the war on knowledge, the war on people who believe in what they are doing and are not about money. I felt it needed to be denounced and put in writing.
Yeah. So what is the future of this movement? So if there are, I don't know, organizations or government or whatever it is that's trying to keep this cure from coming out and keep this knowledge from the general public because of the money behind it, what does that look like? I mean, you have this book, you're educating people about it, but what's the solution to this?
Well, of course, I mean, you have to also to continue the extracts available, because you cannot do research out of thin air. you have to have make the extracts available first, then you can continue the research. And then you have, I continue to, as much as possible, to speak about them. I mean, the book is one of the medias I use, but then I speak about the book. I have a podcast. I invite my guests to the podcast, but also it's an opportunity to speak about what I am doing. I am hosting a conference, the Beljanski Integrative Cancer Conference. I've done that now twice. We are looking to have the third one next year in California. The first one was in Florida, the second one in Texas, and the third one we are looking to California, where we had for 3 days a family, a community of integrative doctors, speakers, and I think they understand the science, they understand how beautiful this research is, other American doctors, so they can integrate also this research and this approach into what they are doing and continue to make that available and continue to help people.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me about your podcast. So for people who are wanting to learn more about this topic and wanting to hear more about what you're doing, what's the name of your podcast? Where can they find it?
So the Beljanski Cancer Talk Show, and I think it's on Spotify, and I interview actually a number of health practitioners in the world of cancer and integrative medicine at large. And it's a good place, I believe, I hope, for people to learn a lot about natural medicine and what it has to offer in addition or in replacement, depending on how you feel conventional medicine, but always in a respectful way, which doesn't harm. Sometimes you have the lens of, side effects of conventional medicine, and you say, oh my gosh, is it really worth it? And with integrative medicine, you can give it a try first. Maybe you will need the conventional medicine. Maybe, I mean, you will need surgery or things like that. But start with a gentle approach. No, do not try not, and see how your body reacts. Maybe that will be enough.
Mm-hmm. Are some of those approaches, the natural approach, is it something that people could be doing to prevent cancer also? Is it something that people should be thinking about before they're diagnosed with something?
So prevention is not addressed by conventional medicine. I mean, they tend to call diagnostic, they call that prevention. Is not the same thing. Diagnostic, the screening for mammography is not preventing. It's about early detection. It's not has nothing to do with prevention. Cancer can be caused by many things. It's linked to long exposure for most people. Of course, it can be genetic, but for most people, it's a result of an exposure to toxic environment, and that's why it happens to older people mostly, because they have the longer the exposure to the toxic environment, the more distorted your DNA can become, and the more tired your immune system is to fight against all the abnormal cells and all the assault. Then there is also all the emotional drama. The stress, the emotions can create a cascade of chemical reactions within your body that can lead to cancer. And unless you really address all those possible causes, and it's work like a detective, it's not easy. You will question your lifestyle, question your relationships, all that, and find balance. your nutrition, what you are drinking, everything has to be screened. You will not find really the cause. And if you don't find the cause, yes, you can take some plant extracts from time to time as a kind of prevention to help detoxify your body from all abnormal cell which is there. Our body is creating abnormal cells every day. A strong and healthy immune system is supposed to recognize those cells and eliminate them properly. If the immune system is not strong enough, it will allow those bad cells to grow, or it will not recognize the healthy cells and it will attack the healthy cells. That's the autoimmune disease. But basically, all that comes from a tired immune system which is not doing its job properly. So we have to do everything we can on a daily basis to protect our immune system from the daily assaults of everything. It's not easy to do. It's much easier to say than to do.
Yeah.
And then we can support, of course, naturally our immune system. Doesn't need to be done every day, but it can be done 2 months here, 2 months there. There are solutions.
Sure. So Sylvie, are you still a lawyer? How can you still
No.
be a lawyer and do all of this?
No, it would be totally impossible. It was heartbreaking decision, but I gave up practicing like 20 years ago, and
Okay.
I've devoted myself totally to continuing this research, speak about it, and spreading the information.
Yeah. Well, what a beautiful story, and continuing your father's kind of mission and purpose and what he was working on. So what a beautiful thing that you're able to do. Well, you told me about your podcast. Tell me where else listeners or viewers can find you online and find out more about what you're doing.
Well, there are a number of places, Instagram and Facebook. I mean, the company is posting. I'm a baby boomer, so I don't do that myself, and I don't know much about it. But I know that's available, and the website for the foundation is beljanski.org, so my last name, beljanski.org. Where people can find all the publications, all the research, those done by the foundation, but also all the publications that we were able to retrieve from my father. Everything is there. It's kind of archive of knowledge. And then there is the website of Maison Beljanski, in one word. Maison means house in French, so maisonbeljanski.com. And there people can have access to products, but also health coaching, individual and group coaching to ask all the questions they feel appropriate. And we are also creating an interactive map of doctors who are using the Beljanski products, so people can find out where there is a doctor and speak to a doctor how to integrate this support into their daily care.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sylvie, for coming on and sharing your book and your story with us. And I know that I know some people in my life who would probably really enjoy this book, so I will definitely share it with them.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Looking for a community of women writers to support and inspire you on your journey? Join the Author Power Circle. Connect weekly with fellow authors, stay accountable, and move your book forward in an encouraging community. Learn more at kellyschuknecht.com.